So it says that I am live, and I have learned to just give it a second because some of the videos that YouTube produces from these live streams tend to cut off the very beginning of the video. So it's probably wise to wait a second before you start your content. And then I'll check to see if anybody is watching. And if you have any comments, just leave them and I'll check the comments as I go. I want to thank all those for coming and watching the live stream. What this is about is I had this company in Toronto contact me about making some animations in SketchUp to help them with putting together their still buildings. They have these instructions that are, on paper, and they're kind of crude, but they work. These buildings aren't that hard to put together, so they work. They just they're interested in making some animations, so they contacted me, and we had a meeting about it. And so what I'm going to do now is give them an example. Here are the instructions on the paper. I was looking for them as I was speaking. I found them. So these are, they're kind of crude. They're not crude. I shouldn't say they're crude. They work. If I had this, I could easily build this metal building. But what I'm going to do is, like in this illustration here, I will eventually animate these panels being put together and also erected. So it'll just be a little more the marketing side of it, I guess you'd say, would be better. So what I'm going to do is go into SketchUp, and this is like a little sample house I had started working on for our apprentices on artisanschoolofconstruction.com, in case you didn't know. Do I have a link? Yeah, this is a new laptop, so oops, wrong. I don't have a link yet. Artisan School. There we go. So this is a website I've created to sort of help mentor apprentices, and if you're a carpenter apprentice, really any kind of apprentice, and you want to join this site and study along with me, I will teach you things about construction. And so I have these courses that I'm working on, and the apprentice path is the one I'm working on now. And you can see it'll be a 12-month program. And so anyway, I didn't want to get too much into that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to work on the sample house that we're working on for Artisan School of Construction, which we've already done the foundation and floor framing and floor decking. You can see we've got our Vantech down, and we framed this first wall, but I thought it would be cool to go ahead and animate this wall. So it's going to take a little time. In the end, what I'll do is when this becomes a video, I'll have a reference point to where the animation actually starts. Until then, I have to actually build the animation, which does take a little time. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move this wall bracing out of the way. I want to move it back here 50 feet. And then I'm going to lay this wall down I'm kind of doing this in reverse now, because in the other video where I show our apprentices how to build this wall, I actually, we stood it up in that video. So now I'm going to lay it back down like that. And then what I'm going to do is take the top plate. I'm going to kind of deconstruct this wall I think that goes all the way across. I'm going to move it back down to the bottom where it was. Well, it was actually right there. What happens is you'll pop your line on your subfloor at 6 inches. If you're using a 2x6 bottom plate, you'll snap a line at 6 inches, and that sets your subfloor. It sets your wall back in a 1/2 inch for your OSB. Now you'll have to go watch the video about subfloor to understand why this Advantech is not out here flush. Okay, I can't review all the videos I've done to this point, but in real life, the Advantech doesn't cover 48 inches. It's got a tongue and groove like this, and it's kind of self-gapping to create a gap so that you don't jam them up. So in the process of manufacturing, those sheets don't cover exactly 4 feet. So what you end up with is a little bit short, but it's no big deal because you're going to stand your wall up like you've seen before. But what I'm trying to do now is go in reverse of that order. Now let's see, how am I going to grab all this stuff? Let me turn off some things right quick. We'll turn off floor framing, subfloor, and let's see if I can grab everything from there. What I'm trying to do is slide everything out of the way so I can start working on this. I'm going to go back in here and unselect the bottom plates. Then I'm going to turn things back on. I'll turn the subfloor back on, the floor framing. And I'm just going to move all this stuff out of the way as if actually this is what we would do. We would kind of lay it up here. I don't want to get on some weird. I need to lock that axis. Let's put it right about there. I need that to be in an exact amount. Let's undo that because I just realized when the animation starts, I'll have to know how much I moved it. So let's go 16 feet. That way I'll know. And so, let me see if we have any questions. Just subscribed, was looking for this kind of video for a while. Thank you. Well, thank you for watching. I have to go check the comments, so if you have a question, I'll come back and forth. I need to get another monitor so I can see the comments, and should have set that up on my phone. But anyway, when we're popping our lines on the floor, again, this would be at 6 inches. If you're using 2x6 plates, in our city, we have to use 2x6 exterior walls because of our energy code requires an R19. If you're in the county in our area, you can use 2x4 plates, and so you would pop your line at 4 inches. But your line would be, back here at the edge of this 2x right here. So then what we would do is literally we would tack these plates down to the floor, okay? And then the first thing you do is lay out your openings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put myself a reference mark since I'm not on the job site. I'm going to just put myself. It's kind of funny how sometimes things are easier to do in real life than when you're trying to draw them in the computer. I mean, I could frame this wall in the amount of time that I talk about it. It's kind of funny with my little crew. So there's my reference marks. So what you're going to do first is put your openings. I've seen some people just start laying out studs. Well, that gets those stud marks can get in your way when you start laying out your openings, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So what we would do here, that's the center. What I think I'll do is move these or put one on the outside of each opening too. That'll tell me where my king studs are. And I'll show in a second, I probably could have picked a smaller wall to demonstrate this. I got this big long 48-foot long wall, but I just wanted to kind of give an idea of how the layout's done. But over here we've got our drawing, and what I do is I want to associate, what I'm trying to do for our apprentices is associate drawings, two-dimensional drawings with three-dimensional things, so that when they're, I remember when I first started back in 1978, I would look at a floor plan like this and I would say, what does that mean? You know, I couldn't associate this with 3 dimensions because I hadn't built it before. So I remember that, and what I'm trying to do now is reassociate or help them associate when they see this floor plan what this means in real life. And what it means is this. So I've got my window opening here kind of laid out, and what I would do is I would take my pencil, and I won't do all these, I'm just going to do some of them, and I would draw a line here, and then I would draw an X, and you'll have to excuse me, this is SketchUp, I have to draw them this way. And you'll get what I'm talking about. And then I would come over, and I probably got the X too big. I'm just going to go ahead and draw the lines here. And this is what I mean by I could do this quicker in real life, because I could have already had my speed square out and marked. But I just want to demonstrate this. So that would be your king stud. And then let's draw us a little circle. What we would do is draw a little O to represent where our opening is. And that would be just be the jack, where the jack goes. And then we would bring that over here. And then that would be mirrored like that. You see? So then when your carpenter came and was putting studs in the wall, they would know not to put a stud right here where the O is. Okay, so let's see how close this opening is, the size, to these others. And this is the thing, you put your openings in first. Okay, that's the same window. I was smart, I used the same size. I don't think they're all the same size though. They might be actually, because one thing I do, I try to keep these simple houses simple, and we might vary the heights of the windows, but the width might be the same. And that's what we did here. So we would put all of our openings in first, just like that. And then the next thing you would put in is your T's and corners, okay? And you might, somebody might put their corner in first, but your T's are where your walls intersect, okay? So I'm just going to indicate. Now, I would be doing this on the site with my tape measure, obviously. But, since I'm having to deal with this computer junk, I have to put myself a reference line there. And I'm just going to go back and forth right there. Okay, so now I come down here, and I'm going to copy some of this stuff. Let's see, I'm going to copy my line. And we put one there, and put one there. And then we'd put a T. We'd literally write T. And it would be about that crude. Okay. Now, some people go ahead and do, and you can do this. Some people go ahead and do both sides of the, I grabbed the wrong side. Oops. So it would look like that. But the T would be assembled first and then placed. We would build the T's on the sawhorse. So I'd have a T there, one here. And I think you're getting the point here is why we don't put our studs in first. Thought I had another T somewhere. 1, 2. I had 2 right there. I had 1, oh, right here. Let's skip that one. There we go. So that's how you show a T. And then the corners are obvious. Sometimes we'll just put a C there. See if I can draw a C. Yeah, we would just write a C there for corner. Let me check comments. Okay. And so now let's get rid of all these construction marks. And you can see now that this is why we don't put our studs in first. So what we would do now is we would measure over 15 1/4, 15.25. And I'm going to copy this. I'll have to delete. And because we only put a line. Some people put 2 marks there, but I like to do a line and an X. Some people will just put 2 marks, but to me, you can see here the X's and O's mean something. You can see that the X and the O start the opening, and then the O ends the opening. You see those mean something. So if I just put X's, if I didn't put anything there, you wouldn't know if that was an opening or not. So I like to do that. And so then we would just go down, and now is when you start your 16. But you can imagine if I did this, I'm just going to do it 30 times. You can see now what happens is if I had laid out my studs first, you can see how they interfere with the layout. And you know, I know I can go through here. That's going to be a pain. So what you would do is you would obviously skip those places. So I know here I'm going to have one at 32. Now you do lay them out here in the middle, because what happens is you get these cripples under the windows, and that indicates where those go on your layout, because you want to keep your layout. Because once you start your layout, you want to have a stud every 16 inches, because the edge of your OSB, your seating, is going to land there. Okay, so let's see, how long would it take me to do this? Let's see, that would be 32, and then 32 again. You see, I wouldn't have one here. I wouldn't have any. Let's see, did I have one there? Let's go back 16. No, it would be there. Yeah, it would have been there. All right, so let's go here. I know I can go probably 6 now. 6. Where's my @ sign? At 6. Probably messed it all up now. Let's do that again. And I promise I'm going to get to at 6. I just wanted to show how these are done, how the layout's done. And I know this is taking a lot of time, and it would take less time in real life, but 16 times 6. Why is that not copying? I don't know, because I'm live. I'm going to copy this, I promise. I'm going to say 16 times 6. There we go. You can see. Now, I should have said 5. Well, no, that one actually goes there. You see, that'll be a stud right there. And that would be just one that you just put up against the jack right there. Okay. So anyway, I won't go all the way down the wall. Probably should, but I'm trying not to make this too boring. So that's why you would lay out your T's and, all that first. Now, what you would do after you're through with your layout, you would take your your top plate, and you would move it up here to, you just move it up here. Now this is where I need to start animating. It'll actually go 92 and 5/8, I think. 92.58. Yeah. 2 and 5/8. That didn't work. Let's see if I have any questions. No questions. Okay. So how I would animate this, and the hard part of this is for me right now is knowing where to start the animation. I think it would be probably here. So I would animate, I would try to get my camera angle correct, and I would start my little animation button here, and I would start a new movement, and that would be a motion that way, and I would pick my object, that one, top plate, and I'm going to move it this way, 92 and 5/8. Why is it not letting me move it? Okay, so what I can do is I can save that. I can just move it any amount really, and then save it, and then I can edit it. Where is it? Right here. I can go in and say, where is it? No, I don't want to do that. Let's do this. Let's get rid of that one. Let's do this right. Let's purge that one. Yes. Okay, so let's go out of this for a second. Yes. I'm going to move this. I forgot, did I make an 8-foot wall? I think I did. That was the only thing that was kind of confusing me. I couldn't remember if I did an 8-foot wall or, 92 and 5/8. Okay. So this bottom plate has to be moved. Let's put ourselves let's just move it for a second, and we'll put ourselves a construction line. This is why this can get testy, 92 and 5/8, because I can put the animation software is a plug-in. It's not actually SketchUp. So I have to put myself a reference line there, I guess, because I can't enter the amount in inches or something. I don't know. I'm going to find out. I've done this animation stuff before, but I haven't really thought about the exact, like 92 and 5/8, how it would, if I have to do it in decimal inches or whatever. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a new movement based on this group. And I'm going to do it here so I can see. Okay, so I need to find this point right here. There. Now I can save that. Now, when it comes time to do the animation, I have to push the play button and you can see it move. And let's see if I can change the angle. Yeah, okay. So that's that. Now, what I want to do is I want to escape to, you have to go out of, exit, temporarily exit. And I need to get rid of these layout marks because what I should have done was made them a part of that group. So let's see if I can't grab them. I'm going to delete that. I want to delete that. Did I get all of them? Let's do this. And you can change this view to parallel projection and decide which way is that. This way, that way, this way. So I guess I'll have to select them this way. That should have selected all of them. Yeah, now I can take that group, let's see, I can cut that, and I can go over here at this group and paste it in, and paste it. Let's see, where can I paste it? I should have pasted it in place. At the end. And right over there. See if that's 15 1/4. Yeah, a little confusing. That little line right there is not really there. So I'm going to explode that. And now those marks will become part of that group. So now if I run that animation again, that was bizarre. Let's go up here. Wrong button. Let's see if I run that animation again. Let's see. Yeah, go. Yeah, now you can see my marks go with it. And this is why this, this prepping, I said prepping. Let's see, let's exit this and say yes. I want to do the same thing, and this one should be easier to move. Look at them all. Yeah, it's good. Got lucky that time. And I'm going to cut those. Then edit this. And paste in place. There we go. Now that's part of that group. Alright, so now let's go to here. And let's run our animation. There we go. Now, let's exit that. And let's see if we are set up. First of all, let's move this back here. Then we'll move it 92 5/8. Because that's how long a stud is for an 8-foot wall. Okay. So now what I would do is, finally, let me see if there's any other questions. Nope, I think I bored people to death. It's okay. In the end, the animation's going to look good, I promise. So now what would happen is we would, in the same manner that we laid out our openings first, we would install the openings, the jacks and, those openings first. So I don't know how much of this, I think I'll just grab that whole group. Is that part of the group? Yeah, what we'll do, I'm going to make a group. Out of these openings. Okay. And it's a little bit difficult because I'm having to think about how the animation plugin works. And also how SketchUp works. So let's go back and we'll start another motion, another thingamabob, and we'll select our group. Now I thought I had created a group out of that. You see, temporary, yes. I made a group there, so why is it not selecting? Okay, so if I select this group, that group, okay. And then I say move, and I said 16, oops, okay. This may be something I have to practice on because what's going on here is there's a lot going on here that you can't see. I'm going to undo that. We're going to exit this. We're going to exit this whole thing for a second. So what's going on here is that I have an extension that builds walls, okay? And so I can just come out here and build a wall. Right? That extension itself is putting things in its own groups. Okay, I'm going to delete that. And this wall is one of those. So I'm having to deal with that extension and this plugin and the way it's working. So this may be a little more difficult than I thought. Let's start this back and I'll see if I can't start a new movement. And I'll see if I can't select, it says group window. Okay, let's see, group. There it is. I just have to select the right, okay. All right, it's just a matter of education. And then I want to move it. And I moved it 16 feet. So let's see if I can move it 16 feet. Well, I don't need to do that. I know where it goes. It goes, need to lock my axis here. Okay. So then if we were looking at our, yes, okay. So if we were looking at our animation up to this point, we would say, and it's a little mixed up because what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go in here and fix my groups, because what I really wanted to do was to show the jacks coming down first, then the headers, then the cripples and the seals, but that's going to be a little more difficult because I'm going to have to explode all those groups. And let's just see for the fun of it what that would, let's see, what that would look like. Okay, so we got to put this back. Okay, yes, we got to put this back down here. That's funny. And I just got this extension for this animator, this plugin for this animation thing, just a few days ago. So we're going to see. Yeah, I'm going to have to learn how to use it here. Let's move. I'm starting to understand that you can't move things around because it's relative. The movement. Let's move this back to here. What I'm going to have to do is actually split this animation up into clips, which makes sense, because if I ran the animation now, it keeps wanting to move it back to there. This won't stay here. Let's see, which one is this? Put that there. Now if we ran animation. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to actually, because I have to perch. Put this back. I think what I was trying to do is put it back while I was inside the animation instead of inside SketchUp. So let me see if I start now. If I do it now, yeah, now it's going to work. So that plate moves out and then the openings come in. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. So let's play that again. You move your plates up there, and then you slide your openings down. And then what you would do is you would actually, yeah, you would move then you would bring your corners down. So what I need to do is exit this, temporary exit, yes. And I need to make a group out of my keys. Because that's what you would do. You would put your windows in, your headers, your jacks. This is your king stud, this outside stud. Your jack is here, your header, your jack, your king stud, and these are two cripples that go on either side of your window opening. You slide your bottom part of your roof opening in. And then we typically don't put these in. We typically just put our headers and jacks and trimmers, and king studs in. And then if we have, after we get the roof on, we'll come back, like say it's a rainy day or something, we'll come back and put our cripples in. But it just depends on how the workflow is going. Make group. Okay. So what I really need to do is make my groups. If I was smart, I would make all my groups. And let's take these corners and put them in the group with the cut. We'll paste them in here. And then we'll make all of our studs a group. Actually, and the cripples too. Oops. Didn't mean to click on the subfloor. That's a stud right there. All right, we'll make that a group. And then we will make all of our double top plates a group, which would be the last thing that you nail. Oh, I've already got them group. That's good. Your double top plate would be your last thing. So let's see if I can just go back into my animation now. Back into Animator. And what happened to all my stuff? What in the world? What in the world? What in the world? What happened? I just hit undo, temporarily exit. Let's just exit from this software altogether. Because now it's kind of scary. Let's see, am I out of it? Yep. That doesn't make any sense. But I didn't lose my group, so alright, that's good. I kind of freaked out there for a second. You saw how, for some reason, this stuff moved back and the studs were gone. So let's go back into this plugin. Now it is kind of funny because this is the brand new version of SketchUp, and this is an older version of this animator, so I'm not really trying to so anyway, getting back to the sequence, let's see, is this group? Yeah, that's the whole group. Okay, now I'm going to move it down. Oh, I got to push my little button here indicating if it's a movement or not, or what kind of action it is. Then it's going to come down. Should be on the layout mark right there, and that would be another action. Actually, we were supposed to do our T's first, weren't we? Well, we can change that. I'll show you how we can move these around. Okay, so let's just save that, and let's see what order we have these in. Okay. So what's happening here is I'm getting it now. Um, these everything has to be when you start the animation. Everything has to be where it started out to begin with, which makes sense. So that means that this let's exit, and that means that this group has to go all the way back. I was leaving it where it was. So things have to be just back. Well, I know it was 16 feet, so I can just move this back 16 feet. That's kind of funny. I didn't think about that. You would think it's not like it's recording it and putting it back where it was. It's these objects are where they are, and it's just moving them. Now let's go back. Now if we play the animation, Okay. It's obvious to me now that I'm going to have to figure out something. Let me go. Hey, Vanessa, kitty. Okay, buddy, that sounds good. I'm just kind of playing around with this animation plugin, and trying to figure out how to. I think I probably bit off more than I could chew on this first part. I probably should have kept it to something simple. But that would be. Why did I copy those? I meant to just move it. So if I save that, that's where we started our animation, I think. Our studs are coming down. There we go. That's working. Okay. That worked fine. That plate, this thing needs to go up here at the top. So how do I slide that up above? Let's see. Let's do that over again. The plate's supposed to go up first, and then I want the plate to go up first. So if I go in here, and what determines the order of these? Can I move these around? This should go up there. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, wait a minute. That one needs to go away. That one needs to go away. This one needs to go away. So why can't I move this one? Oh, you just have to do it like that. Okay. Let's see what that did. Okay, that's what I want. I want the plate to move up first. The studs actually, and I want the openings to come down second. So I want these to go up. I want this to come down here. Let's see. I want this to go up here. That to go up, openings to come down, studs to come down. Great. Now we're cooking with gas. Then and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide these corners. You would actually, let's do another one, another movement. And we would pick our, let's see, this group. We would move it. I'm getting the hang of this now. And this would come down 16 feet. Like that. And so all we have to do is save that. And then that should be in the proper order, except that goes up, openings come down, studs come down, and somehow this stud is not in. Let's go out here. Let's cut this. And we're going to paste it right here. We're going to paste it in place. Oops. Is that right? Yeah. Now if we go back to our animator, we move our top plate up, we put our openings in. I still want this to be down here and this to be up here. Like that. Like that. Let's try that out. Plates up, openings down, corners and tees in, studs in. All right. Now, what we would have, after we get all of that in, why am I missing a stud or a T? Something's funky. Let's go out here and we'll save this. Yes. And my T's are missing. This is one thing that's going, oh, there they are. Oh, there's a stud missing right here. Oh. bizarre. So anyway, let me refresh. Can I refresh this? What happened? What is going on? If I just hit undo, what happens? I've never seen this behavior before. Somehow SketchUp is recording all those movements. I'm hitting undo because I'm trying to figure out what happened to some of my framing got deleted. And let's move this down 16 feet. Or, wait a minute. Let's move this back up 16 feet. And we'll figure out what's missing. Somehow, what is going on? The opening is supposed to be those layout marks are actually right. Somehow this group got shifted. There we go. So somehow that's odd. That's very bizarre. Very bizarre. I'm sure it was my fault. So then if this was back down here, can't leave it there. It'll move it back up again. It'll move it farther. This is where we wanted to start our animation right here. And let's see if I save this now, because I don't want to lose my wall framing layout. Let's save this. And we go to our animation. And we start it. Yeah. Except it went back to there. Yeah, I wanted that to go up first, and then that come down. Okay, and then we lost our corners moving, but we'll do them next. Let's see if I have any other questions. Okay. This may seem kind of boring, but in the end, I'm going to have this, I'll have just a reference in the video that this ends up being. I'll have a reference that just shows the animation, which will take about 30 seconds, but about 2 hours to make. Let's see. But this, I'm trying to see how this old animator plugin works with the new version of SketchUp, and so far it seems to be working fine. I didn't save. Yeah, I need to add in a new movement, and I need to pick this group, and I need to move it down 16 feet. And save that. I might not have saved that one. Okay, so now they're out of order, but I can fix that. So I want my plate to go up first, and then I see what's happening now. This is the timeline over here on the left. So I gotta figure out which one is which. Let's move this up. Let's see. Maybe I'll get lucky and I do the right one. I did. That's my bottom plate. I want it to go up. Then I really want my openings. I want this one to go up. And then I want this one to come up here. Like this. And that. And that. Plate goes up, openings come down, corners and tees come down, studs come down. We're getting there. We're almost there. Now we need a new movement of, after that, after all your, after all this stuff is in the wall, the next thing you do is you take your double top plates and it'll go on top. You'll nail it on top, and I'll show in a second. That's 16 feet. And we'll save that. It's just trying to figure out where, yeah, to make sure I'm in the right place in the timeline when I do these things. It's probably would be good. There's probably a place mark, a mark where I'm supposed to have it when I start the movement. Let's see if that worked. Top plates out, put your openings in, put your corners and tees in, put the rest of your studs in, put your double top plate on. Marvelous. And let's save that. Let's exit and we'll save. Yes. Marvelous. Because what happens is you'll cut your double top plate. It cuts out for your tees, for your walls to intersect. See? So wherever you have a tee, you'll have a gap in that double top plate. The top plate's already down. That was part of the animation. The top plate is here. It's going to move out. You're going to put all your windows and doors in, and your tees, and those really go in at the same time. The point is that you put all your components in first. You put your openings, your tees, anything but studs. Okay, your studs go in last. Okay, and then you would take your double top plate, you see, and nail it on. And then once we're all together, we're getting ready to stand the wall up. But let's run. Let's see, what does that mean? How are we going to do that? Because all this has to be together. I have to, okay, so I have to run the animation just to get this. this is where it gets a little complicated, because not complicated, I guess, because I'm making it complicated, but I have to run that up, run these down, run these over, run that down, and run my double top plate on. Now I have to select all this stuff. How am I going to select everything? That might be the screw up. Let's see if I can do it. I wonder if I can select everything. Oh, dang it. I wonder if I can cheat and now select and make all this a group. Can I cheat and make a group while I'm inside this thing? I bet I can. Now if I go back, oopsie, yeah, that was odd. They put it up here. Oh boy. Can you undo while you're inside? Back to, oh man. Oh man. What did I do? This is, okay, so it moved it up here for some reason. Oh man. Oh man. Let's 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 explode that group. Now, if I go back to this, all right. Now we're tragedy averted. The problem is what I need to do now, and I'll probably have to make two separate animations, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Now I want to raise this whole wall up, but I don't know how to select all these things. So I may have to figure this out. Yes, back. Okay, so select mode, select one or several objects. Okay, how do I select? Do I use the control key? Objects in red will be unselected. You select, click, and drop down. Select of objects, selection of objects, click, and drop down. Yeah, but let me exit that, and we will start a new movement. And before I want to touch the control key. Objects in red. Let's quit that. Let's see if I've screwed up my animation. Let's go out of this. Yeah, I gotta put everything back. All right, well, it's apparent to me that I don't understand how to select. If I go into this and I choose a new movement, if I just start here, I select group, okay, that's one group. If I hold the control key down, group, am I selecting all that? Group. How do I select? Now see, if you were me, you would sit here and think, okay, I'm select. It says Alright, so let's just pretend that I have, I don't know what this red line is out here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose rotation. And this is, I mean, the point of this is I want to show standing the wall up now. So I'm going to start, oops, shoot. Right here, and I didn't get my bottom plate. Well, did I get lucky? No, I didn't get my... I think I'm getting it. I think I'm getting it. Then I go back to my movement. I didn't realize there was this much freedom to go back and forth. And he got it, folks. Except that, why is the top plate up in the air? What is that? What is that? What is that? Why is the top plate way up there? Well, what I may be able to do is fix that. Let's just save that for now. And let's see what it's doing. Okay, it's moving that. It needs to be laid down. Now it's going to rotate it all over. Yeah. We need to get this up here. Oh, that's my rotation. Which one is it? Okay, so the rotation one needs to be down at the very bottom. Yeah, I think I get it now. So everything needs to be, that's going to work, I think, if I get everything back. Where it was. Which means all this has to go back. $16 feet. $16 feet. Could have selected it all, I guess. I was trying to check my groups as I did that. Still don't understand why this top plate's acting funky. I have to figure that one out. I almost forgot about my bracing. It's been sitting out there all by itself all this time. That would be the last thing. I think I put it at 50 feet back. So if I just go and I run the animation now, oh, forgot to put my top plate back where it was. Yeah. Actually, if I get that top plate in the right place, yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. This top plate is supposed to be down here, obviously, when we start, and it wasn't. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Yes. Jesus, thank you. That worked. What about that? Is that 90 degrees? Why does the wall look like it's sitting at an angle? That's odd. Let me check it. It's probably just me. Oh, wait. Let me go out of this and save everything. That should have saved everything. Oh, I didn't do anything. That's right. So let's run the animation. And I'm going to get rid of that gap. There goes our openings, our T's and corners, our studs. We put our double top plate on. We raise the wall up. Now, then we do our, no. Wait a minute. I need to do this without screwing up. So what I'm going to do is run this and then just grab the, I'm trying to change the angle. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new movement, and I'm going to select my bracing group, and this is going to be easier. I'm getting the hang of this now. And I'm going to move this all back 50 feet because that's where it was. And save that. Now, am I out or not? Temporarily exit. Back. Okay. All right. Now, so if we are, can I change my angle? Yeah. So what I would do is I'll talk about TV, camera angles here in a second. Well, let's get this to where if we were trying to show some students how this would work, we would tell them first let's run our animation. Yes, I need to get, there we go, the little screen's not popping up. I need to get this out of the way. I wonder how I can get this to where it's not so much in the way. Anyway, cancel. Okay, so students, you're gonna take your top plate and move it out. You're gonna put your, I need to slow this down. Put your double top plate on, raise the wall up, and then you're gonna brace the wall off. Okay? And that's cool. That's cool. Now all I have to do is set up. I think my eyes are going nuts on me. I was trying to see why the wall looks like it's leaning. And I don't know what those marks are right there, what that line is. But anyway, I'm not going to complain at this point. Got this far along. So, yeah, so what we can do now is, I think we can place a camera angle, like we can start the animation in kind of close. If I can get back to it. And let's see, where's my cameras? Insert a camera in the timeline. Okay. New camera. And capture current view. Okay. So I guess what we do, where do we want it to start? We want it to kind of start off kind of close. So they can kind of see moving that plate back. So no. Okay. How do I insert it? Oh, save. Capture. Okay. There it is. Okay. So where did that camera go? There it is. We're going to put that camera be up here. Okay. Now, as we want it to move out, I think, as how do I can't keep, yes, and then going back. It's a little buggy, but it's fine. I'm not going to complain. Insert the camera. I want to insert another new camera, and I want it to be back out here at this point. So we're looking at the whole thing. So capture current view and save that. And that view, I think, is that the right one? Would be down here somewhere. No, that was the close-up one, wasn't it? This one was down here. Okay, now we're going to have this up-close view up here. And then as we come back, let's put I think that's what I need to start doing. When I start to do something, I need to make sure I'm in the timeline where I want it to be. So now I want a new camera angle. I want a new camera angle that I want to kind of be on the back of the wall when the braces go up, like this. And why do I have to keep doing this to get the window back up. I don't know why. Capture current camera, okay. And then save that, and that should be down there. So if I run the animation now, it should start in here. The plate comes out, that goes down, those come in, studs come down. We start to move around the wall rotates up, and the braces come in. Yay! Oh, all that. Now we're going to save this to make sure. Save all data, yes. Let me see if I have any questions. Now, I know that was very boring. I lost all my current viewers, but it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Now, let's go back and we're going to export. We're going to generate a video. We're going to see how it looks. We're going to make it an MP4. And where does it go? It goes to Animator Videos. It goes to Arts and Construction Pro 2020 Pro. Yeah, okay. And all that looks good. 25 dimensions. Viewport. Okay. Yeah, okay. And then generate video. Let's see how long it takes to. I'm probably going to change this where it's kind of zooming in at first. I don't know. Or I can edit. Once this is a video, I can edit that little video. And I didn't know it was going to take this long. This is the first one I processed. So we will kind of check the comments without screwing it up. There goes our plate, our bottom plate with our layout on it. This is going to take more time than I thought. But you can see how involved just making an animation for something like this is, especially if you're just learning the plug-in. That Animator plug-in's a whole other software, basically running on top of SketchUp. So I hadn't even really played with it, so it's a little more complicated than I thought it was going to be. I may interrupt it because the bracing has to move 50 feet. That'll take some. That's going to be like 20% of the video, just bracing coming over. So if you're just joining me, I'm processing this video of the animation that I made for this wall framing as an example of an animation I can do for this other company that was asking me about helping them with an animation to do put their steel buildings together. %. We're almost there. So one thing you'll notice as these braces come over is that some of them have these blocks that we would nail to the floor. And then the others are nailed to the outside of the band, these here. Because when you're putting these outside braces on, you don't want them to be in the way of the walls that you're getting ready to build. Can I move that? Yeah, I can I? You don't want these braces to be in the way of the wall that you're going to build next. So what you do is you nail these braces on the outside of the wall. And then these braces would be in these window openings. Hopefully that worked. I haven't seen this window before. That's odd. That's scary. But yeah, and then you wouldn't let the braces stick out of the openings either, because you don't want those to be in the way. If for some reason you didn't put your OSB on, you don't want your braces sticking out of the opening or past this corner. You don't want the braces coming past this corner, so that when you start putting your sheeting on the outside of the wall, you don't have to go start knocking braces off the wall. Because these braces, especially these interior braces, will be semi-permanent until even maybe right before the drywall gets put up. So let me see if I can find that video. Where did it say? I was going to put it in my animator videos. Ooh, it actually created a, oh my gosh, wow, it created a frame. These are all the frames, so I want to go delete those. Wow, I didn't know I was going to do that. Delete, because I've got here's the MP4 right here. There we go. How many hours was that? How many hours did I go just doing that little bit right there? That's kind of funny. Let's see. Completed 408 frames. 7 minutes and 41 seconds to do that. Save and exit. Here we go. So we want to save that. And I guess the bad part, and I guess I'm glad I created a separate, if you look up here, my file name is animation sample. I was smart enough somehow to create a new file for this animation, because now basically I would have to create a new SketchUp file for each wall. If I say I was going to animate this entire house, which would take me for a while, a week maybe, I would have to have, because I can't build the walls, it would be a task. That would be a monumental task, because these things, everything would have to be done in a perfect sequence to do that, which means I would probably have to create separate videos and then take those videos. It created an MOV file. I didn't think it was going to do that. I'm going to delete that sucker. But that's pretty cool. Let me see if I can get this over here. That is a lot of work for that, but it's worth. I think, you know, if I can talk this company into hiring me to help them, then it'll probably be worth it, the investment of time. So anyway, unless there's any questions, hey Guy, how's it going? Guy Wren. Unless there's any questions, how long have I been going? I keep forgetting where the amount of time is that's transpired in this control panel. But I've been going for a while, and I just wanted to kind of give an idea of, you see, the thing about SketchUp itself, by itself, you can create sort of give the impression of animation by just like recording your, going between these different views. So that's kind of not really, you can create different angles and viewports and scenes, and then, screen record, going between these things. But that's not really animation, to obviously. So, let me see if I can get back to my working view here. Yeah, this is my working view. This is how it's kind of working. But to actually move objects around in SketchUp, like I'm doing there in that animation, you have to have this little plug-in or one like it called Animator. And so I basically, today was only the second time I had used it, and the first time I used it, I only used it for like, 10 minutes. So that's why it took me so long, obviously. And I think in my future animation work, I'll be quicker. But anyway, my ultimate goal is to use SketchUp as a tool to teach our apprentices that sign up on our construction school. They might not have watched it live, but it still be worthwhile. Yeah, and I don't know. I may not leave this live. I'm going to send the company. This is the company right here, Guy. This steel building company. They do more than just these metal sheds. They do actually pre-engineered steel buildings too. But I think they want me to do one of these Quonset hut. These Quonset, I call them Quonset huts, Quonset models, because I helped the military with some Quonset buildings. I always call them Quonset huts. But something like this, they wanted me to help them show how to put these together. And I'll probably actually unlist this actual live stream and just send them, a link to that video. Because I don't want them, if hopefully they're not watching now, but I don't want them to think it's going to take all that much effort. But in a construction project, there's a lot more parts. When you're framing these walls in a house, there's a lot more components, a lot more steps, a lot more to know than there would be to putting together. And I'm sure they don't want me making it seem complicated. But the end result would be just a simple animation that, would show. I don't know why it's putting it in that folder, but anyway. And then what I would do is make these individual steps, and individual videos, and then I would edit all the individual steps, the individual videos together to make one big, one larger video. So anyway, that is that. And unless anybody has any questions, I'll end it here. We've been going quite a while. I know there's a little bit of lag here, so I'll wait just a second to see if anybody has any questions. Hour and 45 minutes. Okay, I see now where the little timer is. So yeah, basically I could have done that in an hour or so if I had not been new to that particular plugin for SketchUp. Okay, well, I'll end it here. I don't see any questions or comments, and I appreciate everybody watching. I know that was probably painful to watch. At times it was painful for me, so I'm sure it was for you. But anyway, I appreciate you watching, and maybe the next live stream will be something a little more interesting. Thanks. Oh, thanks, guy. I appreciate it.